Welcome back to the PTOUnlimited podcast. My name is Brett.
I'm Josh.
Alex.
This is episode 90.
90.
The final episode
Yes.
of 2017.
There's nothing notable about 90, by the way.
Really?
Nothing.
It starts in the 90s. Like
It did start the 90s, yes. The decade itself that everyone reminisces about constantly.
Well, our generation.
Our people our age.
Our people.
Our people.
What do you mean, you people?
Right,
man.
Good way to start off.
Yeah. Speaking of nostalgia, we are going through the year 2000.
I want to say something first.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, if you're listening to this, it is not the new year yet.
No, it's not.
We are actually pre-recording this episode because Josh and I...
Yeah, but even when they hear it, it's still before New Year's.
Yeah, I said when you listen to this, it's not the new year yet.
Right?
Yeah.
But Josh and I are on vacation at this time, or coming home from vacation at this time. So we decided to go ahead and give you content anyway. So just a shout out to say, hey, I hope that your Christmases were great and full of fun and no drama.
How do people have drama at Christmas?
Families.
Jeez. Do you guys not have good...
No, I mean...
No, I hear about it.
I don't, but I know that it can happen, and it's a huge stress causer among families, especially families that don't get along.
Yeah.
Well, then don't get together. It's as simple as that.
That's what you're supposed to do for holidays, especially
it's all
Christmas.
about family.
No one said you have to.
No, but
Hallmark
I think
did.
it's just it's like a social pressure.
I think Alex needs to have wine before the
I
podcast
know,
every time.
right? No Mountain Dew, just
You're
like...
drunk
No, I'm not. I've had
A glass.
on
tiny...
an empty stomach.
That is
Oh,
true.
yeah.
I have not eaten in like 7 hours. So, yeah.
It's been a very long year. I want to say that. We went through a whole 52 weeks.
We did. We didn't
Yeah.
miss a show.
We did not. And even this one being pre-recorded, you know.
You know, we haven't missed a show since we started, which is pretty impressive.
That was
really.
me knocking on wood. Well, it's very impressive. A lot of people take like that break or
hiatus.
Sometimes people
I've seen some podcasts that we follow. I'll go and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard from these guys in a while. And then I'll look them up and I'm like, I hear them come back from a hiatus. Just like,
Yeah.
oh, I took a few week break. I needed to take a week take some time for myself from the podcast. And I'm like, wow. I'm like,
yeah.
I know that this is, a lot of people don't understand that it's not as simple as just sitting down in front of a mic and talking.
Literally.
Lot of
That's the easy part.
right.
What they don't understand is everything behind the mic.
Yeah.
There's the recording, there's the editing, there's the social media.
We don't even do all that we could.
Oh yeah, I mean,
far
and
as
the other
editing
thing too is
goes.
we don't edit a lot of our podcasts,
Right.
like almost at all.
Right.
And then Josh does our video, every week, and before we were doing just video highlight clips that we're doing now, he was editing and putting together an 1.5-hour video. That was at least
That's a lot of work.
6 hours of work.
More than that.
Well, I said at least.
Yeah.
Just alone. So a lot of people don't understand how much work actually goes into it. It's scheduling, it's taking time out of our schedule, which hence our name, PTOUnlimited Podcast. We are personal time off podcast.
Yep, and we use this as a job. You okay, Brett? You got some
I had something in my eye.
like a whole right side
He's
of your
getting
face.
emotional that it's
No,
a
I
live
really,
podcast.
did have something in my eye.
I wanted to talk about real quick. We did 90s as Decade of Nostalgia.
Yes.
Are we still doing this as a Decade of Nostalgia? Because
We'll go-
technically from 2000 to 2010 is a decade.
Yeah.
And I say that's still a Decade of Nostalgia.
Back to music.
Yeah,
This
back
is the
to
third
music.
time I've said this now.
So we have some
Talk about the music.
we have some amazing music that you guys will definitely remember. So we're gonna go down a few. Oops, I Did It Again.
Oh my gosh.
Was 2000, and I'm seeing like a
Was
little.
that the single or the
I
album?
think the album came out at the same time too.
Yeah.
But I mean that was huge.
Well, usually a single will hit
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 months before the album.
Britney Spears, her in the red suit
What guy
I
did
thought
not
and the long
get...
hair.
I thought the Oops, I Did It Again was the schoolgirl.
No, that's...
Baby One More Time.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the next one.
no, that was the one
before.
before. Baby One More Time was first. Oops, I Did It Again was second.
Which is what we're talking about.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Isn't that the schoolgirl?
No.
No, Baby One More Time was the schoolgirl.
Are you
the
sure?
Schoolgirl.
Yes.
And here's the little logo there. That's her.
That's,
Okay.
She
And
had the red
the red
spandex, leather,
suit.
whatever.
And the long brown ponytail, like extensions.
Maybe I'm thinking of the music video.
That is the
That
music
is the
video.
music video.
I think you're wrong.
No, okay.
Do you want me to click on it right now to show you?
Sure.
Okay, I will.
Are you playing the music video?
Sure, I mean, why not? Hey, this podcast, we do whatever we want here. Hopefully it doesn't play like some kind of like ad or something.
An ad,
Yeah,
which that's what it was.
Yeah, it's gonna play an ad first. No, but Josh, I know that you know what
I
I'm
know
talking
what.
about.
Yeah, I used to watch MTV in the 2000s so much.
What is the one with the schoolgirl outfit?
Maybe one more time.
Okay.
Oops, I Did It Again. The music video itself was. I mean, what guy did not have thoughts?
Well, with almost any video of hers.
At that time, in the year 2000, I would have been 13. So prime.
15.
Yeah.
Prime Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So next we've got Bye 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 by NSYNC.
Yes.
So that's huge. Still huge. Who
That
doesn't
was-
get excited when that song comes on and goes, this is my jam?
They get turned.
I don't say that for sure.
The Real Slim Shady by Eminem.
Oh, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
I know.
huge.
Huge. That's another one that I know all the lyrics to.
Yes.
I memorized that song, and that was one of the only songs I can remember where I listened to the radio for hours waiting for it to come on so I
Yes.
could hit record.
Did you
Yes,
really?
Yeah.
Definitely. Shake Your Ass by Mystical. Please tell me you
Is that
heard that one.
Shake Your Ass?
Yes!
Watch
yourself.
I told you.
Show me what you're working with.
Stan from Eminem.
The Marshall
The
Mathers
Marshall
LP.
Mathers LP. Yeah.
Did you actually buy that album?
I did, but I was unaware at the time that Walmart only sold the clean version.
Same. I got the edited one
You
myself
couldn't
too.
even listen to it. You know,
Well, it's like
No.
just a
Some
whole
of
bunch
it.
of bleh,
it was,
bleh
you know,
in
it
the
just
middle of the
cuts
lyrics.
out. I'm like, what is going on?
Miss Jackson by Outkast.
Sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I feel for real.
I don't know. Oh, I guess I knew
come
that. I know that part.
on.
I know that part.
Who Let the Dogs Out by
Oh
Baha
God,
Men.
the worst song
The
ever.
most-
written.
Hey,
most
honestly, I
overplayed.
still get chills listening to it because it brings
Why?
me. It just brings me back. It
That's
just brings me
so
back.
stupid.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was music from the
So
2000s.
we're moving from music to TV shows. I'm going with TV shows that premiered in the year
yep.
2000. And
Yep.
I'm going to start off with a big one, Malcolm in the Middle.
Ooh,
I was never a fan.
I love
Really?
Malcolm in the Middle.
Did not like it.
You didn't
Yeah,
you
loved
didn't like
it.
Malcolm in the Middle.
But it's the earliest thing that I can remember Bryan Cranston.
He was actually in the Power Rangers. Did you know that he played villains?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. Oh yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah, and now it's kind of
But
funny.
he's not his face.
No.
No,
No.
no,
He
was in
he's a
costume.
voice actor.
Yeah, but the weird thing is he plays Zordon in the new Power
Yeah.
Rangers
I know.
movie.
Yeah.
Jackass, I guess that premiered in the year 2000.
Wow,
Jackass the TV show.
Mhm.
Is that? Wow.
I never watched that because the gross stuff I couldn't handle.
I was more a fan of the movies.
The movies were worse.
I know the movies were bad. I specifically remember my brother. Like we were living in Chicago, and my brother came over to visit, and he was young.
Oh, yeah.
And we watched, I think, Jackass 2
I thought it was 3.
or 3.
I think it was the porta potty
Yes,
ones. That's 3.
it was the one where they strapped a bungee cord to a porta potty, and who was in it? Steve-O, probably.
Steve-O.
They put a full porta potty full of poop. And they put bungees on it and they slingshot it, and he was drenched in shit. And my brother, he just got so like disgusted by it. He actually went and threw up in my bathroom. He went to the fridge and we had like 3-year-old apple pie in the fridge, like in the actual like.
So he downed Everclear.
He downed Everclear accidentally. He's like, that wasn't apple juice, and then went and threw up some more.
Fear?
Nope.
You don't remember
Fear.
Fear?
What's Fear?
It was a lot like Fear Factor, and it's just
Oh, it's different from Fear Factor.
yeah.
See, I remember Fear Factor, and we watched that when it was on. I love Fear Factor.
Right.
I watched the first episode, but then they had on the first episode they were laying with rats, and I'm like, can't do this show.
Oh, I'd probably just be petting him.
I'm afraid of rats. So
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
I'm
We've had this conversation,
Dr.
Alex.
Jones Senior on.
Why
on
are you
rats.
scared of rats?
I don't know. Why are you scared of whatever you're scared of?
Spiders?
Spiders? I have a legit reason.
Well, maybe I have a legit reason.
Alex can tell it.
I already told it on the podcast
Did you
last
really?
year, yes.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm sure I did too.
I have a legit reason for everything I'm scared of.
I've got
What
a
is-
lot-
Why are you scared of rats?
I don't know. I just don't like them. They're dirty and disgusting, and they crawl. They can run up your leg.
What
and-
if I got a pet one?
No, I would get a gun.
So let's
Movies.
Let's move on to movies, and the list is,
I've got a big list. We've got Gladiator,
of course,
which you did watch.
I
this
did.
year.
Was it this year?
17 years later.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was this
I think
year.
it was too.
Yeah.
Scary movie.
Yes. I've probably told this on the podcast already, but my parents bought me Scary Movie for Valentine's Day.
Wow.
That's so weird.
And I was watching it in the van when it was a full-size van. We had a little TV in between the driver's seat and the front passenger seat. It was a little TV, little 13-inch screen, and we were watching a scary movie, and that is not a movie to watch with your family.
No.
That is not a movie. There's too much like nudity and language, especially.
The Emperor's New Groove.
Love that movie.
Touchy.
Love it.
That came out in 2000?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I love that. Man, it's a
I'm
short
not sure.
movie. It's an hour and 18 minutes.
You got Patrick Warburton, David Spade, and John Goodman.
Yeah.
And
Star-studded cast.
I don't know who's funniest.
I think Patrick Warburton.
Patrick
Probably.
Warburton.
Kronk was great.
Kronk is
I didn't-
amazing.
Right.
Right.
Right, the poison.
Squeak, 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 squeak,
The poison for Cusco.
Are you kidding? This is hand-carved mahogany.
I like it when he's in the when he goes in to go do the orders.
Oh, yeah.
And he just all of a sudden, like, the guy goes, "That's it, I quit."
Hey, pal, what's your policy on making special orders? That's it. And he packs up all of his crap and he starts cooking
And he
everybody's
starts
meal.
cooking. Oh my
Doing it
goodness.
himself.
I love it. He's such amazing. Final Destination.
Oh.
Not this one.
The sequel.
Still.
The logs, the truck, driving on the highway.
There's that. And then the water bottle going underneath your pedal.
Was that too?
That was the logs.
Was that
Like,
too?
that was on the highway.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. So that messed with me so much that I can't, like, I get really nervous every time I have a water bottle in the car that I
Really?
think something is going to go underneath my pedal and I'm not going to be able to push the brake. And then number 2, if Highway to Hell comes on from AC/DC,
yeah.
I have to shut it off while I'm driving.
Even if a bottle got under your pedal, you can move it with your foot easily.
I know, but if it's an emergency and you didn't know, like it.
I've had that happen to me recently. I had a ice scraper underneath my car. I got.
That's exactly what it goes to my mind. It's like, oh shit, this is Final Destination.
I don't keep loose items on my floor.
3 is the last one that really messed me up.
That's the last
where
one we saw.
I stopped watching Final Destination. If I was really big into tanning in high school. That was just like that was the thing, and I stopped tanning because of that movie.
You can't have two tanning beds in a room.
You don't have 2 tanning beds in the same room.
Right.
And there was a board that got knocked loose and made it so that way they couldn't get out of their tanning beds.
Yeah.
And then a Coke, that's the other thing. You're not allowed to bring food and drinks into the tanning room. They set their bottle of Coke on top of the electrical system or something that's hooked up, that has all the wires to the tanning bed, and the condensation leaked and made it spark, and then it upped the voltage and it burned them alive.
Oh, brother.
And they couldn't get out, and then they ended up, it got so hot the glass broke and they fell into the my god. And so after that I was like, I'm not tanning ever again.
And they just immediately blister
or actually,
and everything.
to tell you the truth, the first thing I started doing is I tanned with the tanning bed open. So I got an uneven tan.
You're not supposed to do that.
To tell you the truth, okay, so this is how stupid I was about tanning when I was younger. No one ever really showed me. I automatically always went in. I didn't know that you had to pull the tanning bed cover down. I automatically just laid in there because it's so heavy that I thought I was going to break it. So I was like, oh, well, maybe you just lay down. And then later on, my friend Amanda was like, why is your back so much darker than your front? And I'm like, I don't know. And then someone came in and said, oh, you're supposed to pull this all the way down. And I tanned for like a year like that.
You might have just kept that to yourself, Alex.
Oh, come on. I was probably I was probably like 16,
so
15
you never
or 16.
laid on the other side? Like you never
No,
laid...
I didn't flip or anything. So I had like a really dark back and a really light front.
Man, that's funny.
I just thought my front didn't tan very well.
Yeah, because there's different skin cells on the back and the front.
I was 15 or 16. Anyways,
next?
let's move on here. The Patriot.
You haven't
Love
seen
that movie.
Oh, I thought you hadn't seen that movie.
Love The Patriot.
I believe we watched that in high school, actually.
There's one scene in The Patriot that would make anybody cry. When he's right after Heath Ledger gets married and they're leaving again, the little girl, his youngest daughter, won't talk to him. So they mount up on their horses and ride off, and she like runs after him and says, don't go, I'll say anything, because she wouldn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
And he jumps down off the horse and goes to her. You don't remember that?
I've watched
you made
the movie
a coal?
once.
You made a coal, Alex?
I watched the movie once in
Did
high
you say
school.
she's made a coal? What does that even mean?
No emotion.
Coal
Cole doesn't have
coal.
it.
Wow. Shanghai Noon.
Never watched
Owen Wilson,
it.
Jackie Chan.
Mm-hmm.
No.
A Jackie Chan comedy you haven't seen?
Nope.
It's great. His name is John Wayne.
Are you serious?
And Owen Wilson's like, your name's John Wayne? That's a terrible cowboy name.
That's hilarious.
It's more like, that's a terrible cowboy name.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
So let's just real quick cover in 2000. The year 2000 and it was a huge year
Y2K.
in our life.
Y2K.
The Millennium.
I will always remember the news segments of people buying bottles and bottles of water and getting their pantries filled up in case the computers reset back to zero.
I remember my parents buying at least a few gallons of water and putting it in the closet.
2017 is ending at time of this coming out. So we're going to do our year in review. Our movie of the year. This doesn't have to be a collective movie of the year. This can be our choices of movies that we've seen that have premiered this year. And we're also going to touch on our most disappointing movie of the year. So Alex, you go first here, unless you're not prepared.
No, I'm prepared.
Okay, so what is your favorite movie this year?
I'm going to go honestly with It.
Oh my gosh, me too.
I'm going with It just because I went in the only reason I watched this movie was to just say I've seen it. This movie stuck in my head.
It still does today.
For months.
Today, I'm thinking about it.
I've only seen it once. It would just grab me artistically, cinematically. This is a masterpiece.
This is a movie I have to buy.
This was a great movie.
Yeah.
Ahead of that, just because it was more fun for me, was Power Rangers. And
Power Rangers was good.
That was
I did
my
not
second.
see a lot of movies this year. You seem to go to at least one movie a month almost.
We try to. We try to get some culture.
Well, and then Josh and I were just
keeping
that's
up with
how
pop.
that's
Pop culture. Pop.
sounds like a song pop culture.
That's a segment right there. Pop culture.
Are we ready to move on?
Yeah.
I'm ready to go disappointing, right?
Oh, disappointing. I forgot
Disappointing
about
movie.
disappointed.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've only seen 5 movies.
Yeah, I mean, it's too easy to say Star Wars, but I would honestly probably ahead of Star Wars say Lego Batman movie.
That's on my list.
That was very
Lego movie was so great.
Oh, fantastic.
And we were
just
excited.
Expecting Lego Batman to be great, and it was not.
And that's why we passed on Lego Ninjago.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that
I have heard nothing about that.
I didn't either. I heard no good or bad. I mean, I remember IGN giving it like a 7 or something, but they also gave Lego Batman like an 8 or 8.5.
That was my most disappointing movie of the year.
What?
Lego Batman.
Really?
Yes.
I'm gonna say I can't. I have to say Star Wars. Personally,
biggest letdown.
Yeah.
With the hype. Yeah, Star Wars. But I think Lego movie still grabs number 1 for me.
Lego Batman.
Lego Batman movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
like to the point where I haven't seen Lego Ninjago because of it.
Yeah.
And I actually heard that one's good.
We were just
talking about this. Were you listening?
I might have spaced. I didn't have wine.
That's okay. Star Wars myself personally, not just due to the hype, but due to the fact that it's a Star Wars movie. Did you know? I told this to Brett before you got here.
Yeah.
They are petitioning to write Star Wars Episode 8 out of the canon of Star Wars.
Are you serious?
People are petitioning this. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. It's out.
Done. This is how much people don't like this movie. It's making that much of an impact.
It's not like I gave it an F. It's not bad. I think I gave it a B-.
I gave it
Star Wars.
I gave it. Brett and I both gave it a C. C-.
Okay. Well, I give it just like I said on our review. If it wasn't for the cinematography, it would have been a C-.
or D.
Or a D. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the storyline is just so messed up.
Yeah. We've touched on this. This will be the 3rd time now on Star Wars.
I know.
My most disappointing one, your guys' was Lego Batman.
Let's do Game of the Year because I need to talk about mine a little bit more because I have not mentioned what I'm going to say.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Go first.
I played almost no new games this year, maybe 2.
I can name the one that you might talk about.
What is that?
Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Ghost Recon Wildlands. I've put like 170 hours into it this year, and it's really the only, other than Madden, it's pretty much the only game I played this year.
Okay. So. Alex, what's your game of the year?
My favorite new game, there's 2. So just because they're new, and one of them is pretty damn obvious.
Destiny 2.
Destiny 2.
Yeah.
And the other one that I laughed my ass off at is Human Fall Flat.
Oh, yeah, but that didn't come out this year.
Oh, it didn't?
No, that's not a new game.
Well, then it's just a new game for me. I thought it was freaking hilarious.
Such a fun game.
It's a great game, and it doesn't have to be funny. It's also just
it's a co-op.
It's a mind challenging game.
Yes, you have to know how to physics.
Yes. So I mean, it's a fun game. I really enjoy it.
Why would you say Destiny 2 is your game of the year?
Well, for one, it's just Destiny, and I enjoyed the storyline so far.
Yeah.
I know that you're secondary to that, but
because I have other interests.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying it. I'm still a hardcore Destiny fan. I love Destiny.
Right, I get it.
I still say Pokemon Go's on there too.
So for me, my game of the year is Super Mario Odyssey. I've always been a Mario person, always. Super Mario Odyssey, great game. Legend of Zelda is a close second, along with Destiny 2. Those are great games, and I would also say Life is Strange Before the Storm, but I stopped playing that due to the fact that other games interest me. For me, I try to go for the pick up and play games like Rocket League. That's my main go-to. Like I can just play a match or two and then stop. That's a really good game to do those quick games too. The next one is favorite moment / experience, as far as what happened this year for you that you can remember specifically was either big or memorable or something major. I've got Alex. Alex and I are gonna say the eclipse.
Yep. That there is nothing in my life right now that's going to top that experience. I'm serious.
Yeah, it was a life-changing, life-altering.
Just I'm getting chills. Like
I can't.
I can still see it.
Yeah, it's
still as vivid as me just like tilting my head up and it's right there.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we couldn't have asked for any better weather, any better spot, like, or the people that we were with. Like it was just like. It was perfect.
Do you have something, Brett?
Yeah. One thing that I remember that I guess it was just fun was watching the Patriots do the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history.
That is true. It was the Falcons were up like what? 3 scores. It was a big comeback.
And the other thing I thought was I got a new job and
right.
It's going to be very good for me.
You're a lot less stressed.
Yes.
We have seen happier Brett.
You have.
I mean, you're not working your 2 jobs.
Correct.
So
I've got one other experience.
Go ahead.
I got my first tattoo.
Yes, you did.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, you did.
I forget that I have it now just because it's all healed up, but it's like because it's on my arm.
I mean, just show.
Well, I mean, there. But it's just like it means a lot to me and it looks really cool and I'm glad that I did my research and I got it done by someone.
That was like the day after the eclipse too.
It was a fun experience. Like, and I totally went over my head how much it was gonna hurt and it's all in your head.
Yes.
It really is.
We've had 52 episodes. 52 episodes this year.
I don't know if
you can recall a favorite podcast moment. I have mine. Mine is a collective having guests on our show. Yep. That's my favorite moment.
Actually, that was actually one of my things.
Exploring different opinions.
Right?
5, because we had Kevin too.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we had Kevin.
Rick, Shane, Andrew, Jer, and Kevin. We had 5 guests on, and every single time we just have a different experience with what we talk about. And I want to do more of that.
And it's fun for them to see kind of what goes into it too.
Right. Every single time we have people come in here and
they're like,
not just that, they see our studio and they're like, man, it's a lot smaller than what it looks like on camera.
It looks a lot smaller.
I would say that having the guests on the show is very memorable to me because every single time we've done something different, we've talked about different things and had different opinions. It's just us 3 for the most part. I mean, and
we know each other very well.
And maybe some comebacks. You know, we had Andrew on the second time, and he was a lot more chatty, and I was so happy.
We're gonna give people second chances to come on too, or I guess second appearances, not second chances.
You get a second chance to prove yourself.
This is your second and last chance. Don't turn it around.
No, just because it's kind of breaking the ice.
Yeah, every single time we see Rick and we talk about the podcast, he's like, "Man, I want to be on again. I want to redeem myself for not being as chatty as I was before." Everyone thinks that they sucked
the first time. I'm like, no, he was actually really good.
Right.
Well, we kind of sucked.
Oh gosh, I don't even want to talk about episode 1. Don't listen to episode 1, the pilot.
That's
PTO
a conversation we need to have in 10 weeks.
Don't listen to that first.
Don't listen to it to enjoy it. Listen to see how much we've improved.
Not just that, we didn't have an intro and outro. We didn't really have plugs.
No,
we didn't really.
It just starts.
We didn't have a whole lot to it, you know.
Yeah.
So that's our favorite podcast moment. I mean, all of us collectively enjoyed having our guests on, and there are always conversations that we have, like millennial slang, soda tasting, either or. We disbanded playing and watching, but we had all those segments, come and go, and hopefully we'll come up with something new and more inventive and go on from there. So
I'm gonna hit up I'm gonna just list them the celebrity deaths.
Yeah.
The notable ones.
Yeah, is that
not
where
that any one is worse than another, but
is that where we're gonna
maybe the bigger names? All right, so just this is chronologically how it went down, but
okay.
Mary Tyler Moore kicked off the year with her death, which was
we're gonna go through this again, and I'm gonna just go, wow, that was this year.
Yeah.
This one will touch you guys, Chester.
Yes, Chester Bennington. Still to this day,
it's still fresh.
Still very fresh.
Still extremely fresh.
Having that connection to that kind of a celebrity has been
like
tough to get through.
It felt like a best friend died.
Yep, and they just recently released a live album of his last performance.
And honestly, I've had it.
It's sitting on our dining room table.
I've opened it. I can't listen to it.
Hasn't been put in.
I will cry. Yeah. I will cry hard.
Yep.
So overall, 2017, personally, how was it for you?
Terrible year for me.
Really?
It was not a good year.
Health issues, celebrity deaths that were very notable.
Well, the one.
Well, no, there's a couple. Chris Cornell was pretty big too. I mean, Soundgarden I listened to. We saw Chris Cornell.
Yeah, we should have gotten his autograph. That kicks my ass still thinking about it.
Yeah, he was in the booth.
He was right next to us, and I was
weren't we seeing Linkin Park?
I just remember he was over there signing autographs, and you're like, hey, you want to go? Should we get in line? And I'm like, we wanted to get a good spot for Korn or something, and
whoever he was opening for somebody.
And I was like, no, we'll just see him on stage. It's no big deal. And it's like he was right there.
Yeah,
he was right. As if Josh was right next to me. He's just in a booth. So.
And I mean, Alex and I can't stress this enough about Chester Bennington. It was really hard for us because that was the band that actually brought us together, and our song is one of theirs.
Yeah.
So it was very rough.
It's hard because he's gone, and it's hard to watch the boys, like the rest of Linkin Park, go through it.
Move on.
Not
necessarily move on.
That's the thing. I mean, they're making music. They're doing things to keep themselves busy. They have not said what they're doing next, but I mean, I follow them on the daily, on their Twitter, on their Instagram.
You'll see her retweets.
Yeah, my Twitter's probably annoying with how much Linkin Park I repost.
So the moral of the story is appreciate what you got. Live in the moment. All those cliche phrases, it's serious. Like you don't know what you got till it's gone.
It feels like the last 15 years of my life just kind of got crushed.
How was the year for you?
Yeah.
There were some really rough spots.
Oh my gosh.
I have not talked about this on the podcast, but I'll kind of give an overview. But
Gonna get a little
I know
personal.
last year I mentioned being engaged and having the kid. We are not engaged anymore. That we did split up. Leela, who I have referred to as my daughter, is not technically my daughter, but she knows me as dad. Me and her mom are on good terms.
That's good.
So I do get to see the kid, but going through that breakup was rough. 2018 for me, we haven't talked about resolutions, but most of mine are financial.
For me, personally, if I want to make a resolution, I would say better health.
Well, for you, yes. Oh, my God. The thing is you're 30 years old. You're not
I don't look
considered overweight. You don't smoke. You don't drink.
Maybe
not
just
very often.
Maybe more consistent exercise.
I want to say exercise myself.
I went into why my year was bad, and I mean it became to where my job wasn't good, and I know you guys seen it. I just was not happy.
You were not happy
at all.
Yeah.
It's been a really long time since I got just really, really mad.
Well, I mean,
that's a great feeling.
You chucked your phone the other day, and I knew it was out of spite because your phone wasn't working properly. It was being a pain in the butt. So I mean, but who doesn't throw technology every now and then?
And I knew that it was hitting a bed, so it was safe. But anyway, 2018 looks to be like a good year.
Alex, do you have anything specific you want to say about 2018 that you're looking for, that you want to do for yourself?
Well, one thing I know that's going to happen no matter what is that my student loans will be paid off.
Nice.
That's a big deal.
So I'm like super excited. Like I paid this month's, and I was like, total between both loans from school 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago, I think I have like less than $1,400 left.
Nice.
And I'm like, I'm just going to freaking just chunk it, pay it off, be like, I'm done. I am done. I'm like debt free in school loans. So that's a good feeling. The biggest thing for me is saving up for Josh and I to go on a vacation. ourselves somewhere really nice. And like, I think that's probably one of my biggest goals. I don't know if it'll happen in 2018.
We got to get out of here.
Yes, we do. So 2018, here we go. Happy New Year to everybody.
Be safe.
Be safe when
partying.
Going out partying. Yes, we are. We're gonna hit the club.
We're gonna hit the club. Jam out to some 90s music into 2018.
So 2017, you can go fuck yourself.
No, don't say that, because I mean it wasn't the best year, but lessons learned.
Yeah, I mean whether or not it's a lesson or just an experience. Yeah. So you gotta vote on that T-shirt Tuesday. We have 4 items available for you to vote on.
We're getting quite a few votes on Instagram.
Are we really?
Yes, we are.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So please continue to do that. Just go and vote for your favorite T-shirt.
What's leading as of right now?
3. The
Aftercast?
Really?
The Aftercast is winning.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on all 3. We'll do a collective vote tally, and at the beginning of January, I think the second week is when we'll push our T-shirt Tuesday. We'll skip a first Tuesday because that's New Year's. So just stay tuned for, I think it would be the 9th of January. We'll have our T-shirt Tuesday release for the giveaway. So if you vote, then we'll know what you like, and we'll bring it out. So we're good to go?
Yep.
All right, let's
Josh, I think about 2017 we can say...
I absolutely agree.
I agree. All right. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Bye.
Bye.